Okay, so let's capture yesterday's lesson and extend this out a little bit. All right, so in yesterday's lesson, our focus was mood chains, how you can have the same setting physically, but psychologically it changes. And so we were at the middle school where Will is, and we saw it go through all these different moods. All right, and your job was to come up with a mood chain as well for a setting in one of your reads that you're in the middle of. So today's lesson is lesson 13, and the whole point of this is that a group dynamic can have a great influence on a character or characters. And we're going to look at this. It's kind of fun to call one of your characters, like think about them. Are they a bad apple or a good egg? And so I used Mike. All right. And I used the story, The Fight. And I think that Mike leans himself more to the bad apple. So you can see here on my T chart, I have group dynamics versus the individual. I chose Mike as my individual, and I put him under the column of being a bad apple. And then I was thinking about the group when this is when the actual fight is starting, it's escalating. So the interesting part about this is, and this is why I drew these arrows, is that the individual can affect the group and the group can affect the individual, and this can continue on in a spiral. And that's basically what we have happening here below. Because Mike, all right, is surrounded by about 50 to 60 people. That's a lot of people. That's intimidating. And they yell, fight! And Mike starts kicking. And then they yell, kill him! And then when he kicks, all right, and I forget what, I know, it was Will grabbed him in the groin. And then he says, so that's how you want to play. And then no one stops it. That's an action too, in a way. When no one tries to stop this, or just say if that group had walked away from them, they said, this is just too much, I bet you that fight may have dissolved. But the group just increased the intensity of the fighting and how much Mike wanted to get Will. All right. And then I don't know why I have that written. Most eighth. I'd have to go back to the article. Sorry, guys, on that. And he says, do you give yet? All right. So it's just like they just kept going back and forth, and that big inspiration to just continue and keep going with this fight. It was really sad in a way. And, when Mike kept pounding on Will, I was really concerned about Will. Would he survive it? Because it just got to be carried away. It was too extreme. So groups can definitely influence what happens with a person. All right, and that's what the lesson is today. I want you to apply this to your own reading. So if you would make a T-chart, see if you can find some group dynamic, even if it's just two friends, two people in the book. All right, as well as an individual, pick one, and then decide, is that individual a bad apple or a good egg? Put them under that column, and then find that going back and forth, like what is happening. Some can be evidence, not all of it has to be evidence, but just pay attention to how one influences the other. And again, the point of the lesson being that groups, all right, can definitely influence the mood within a setting. That's today's lesson. Signing out.